Hey there, it's BoardGameDave. Today we're trying something totally different. The guys at Dads and Dice and I are going to be doing a playthrough of Potion Explosion on BoardGameArena. Dads and Dice is an amazing new channel that you should absolutely check out. Their channel's full of playthroughs just like this one and reviews, and I'm really excited to be doing another playthrough with Paul and Devin. And by the way, since this is something totally new to this channel, please let me know in the comments down below if you like this sort of thing. If it seems like you do, I would love to have other board game content creators on my channel to do playthroughs like this one where it's much more about the conversation than it is about the game. I'm finding that I really enjoy meeting and getting to know other creators in the community, and I'd love to do more of this sort of thing if it seems like something that you'd be into. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. Anyways, Potion Explosion, here goes. All right, here we are with Paul and Devin from Dads and Dice. You guys want to go ahead and say hi?
Yeah, I'm Paul.
I'm Devin.
Together we're Dads and Dice, two brand new dads who like to play some games during our free time.
That's right. Thank you, Dave, so much for allowing us to join your channel, for doing this. It's always fun playing games with you.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. The guys from Dads and Dice, they had me on their channel to play Great Western Trail recently, so you can go find that video as well. But Devin is being so kind as to record all the streaming and do all that technical stuff from his end. So you'll be seeing Potion Explosion today from Devin's perspective, just so you know. And yeah, quick overview of Potion Explosion. We are in our last year at the Horribalorum Sorcery Academy for Witty Witches and Wizards. And we are taking our potion exam where we will be pulling marbles from the dispenser to complete our potions and then use those potions to get more marbles. It's a whole big thing. But the general gist is when you pull a marble on your turn from the dispenser, right, gravity kind of pulls those marbles down. So if you look in that fourth column over, there's 3 yellow marbles in a row. Oh, sorry, 3 red marbles in a row. So if I pulled that middle red marble, right, those 2 red marbles would clack into each other and you would get to keep those marbles, right? And then if more marbles would clack into each other of the same color, you take those marbles as well, and you can end up getting these big explosive combos where you get, 9, 10, 11 marbles, and then you use those marbles, if you look at our potions, you kind of put them in the corresponding holes, and that's how you complete potions. And each one of them has their own special power, so we'll probably go over them as the game progresses, but that's kind of the gist. And then as we complete sets of 3 matching potions, or when we get 5 different potions, 5 different types, we get these little badges that give us 3 points, and there's also that's the timer of the game. So there's only 5 of those badges, and once they're gone, that signals the end round, and then we finish the round and count up our points, and points just come from completed potions. Oh, and also from those badges again. But I believe that's the whole thing. Does that sound right, guys?
It sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've all played, so this will be a very familiar game for all 3 of us. It sounds like, do we all own the game?
I own it. Devin does not.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I just play over with Paul.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it turns out we're talking about I own the better copy of this game also.
Yes. This is a used first copy edition, which is in very poor shape. It's got the cardboard dispenser. If you're watching and you have the first edition, you'll understand what I mean. It's rough. Yeah, they fixed it with the second edition. So.
All right,
anyway.
So yeah, I guess we'll get into playing. Looks like I am first.
Yes.
I chose my first potions pretty poorly because I can't take this sweet black combo. So I'm gonna take this blue here, and we'll go with those.
Yeah, that'll get you started.
We'll fill there, and that starts it off.
Nice.
All right.
And on each turn, you can also use the Professor's Help, right? And that lets you pull 1 marble without triggering an explosion. So sometimes you want to do that before your turn or after your main turn to kind of manipulate and rearrange the dice. So.
Yeah, get you a nice little combo set up where it's take this one and let me get all these for it.
Right. The catch is that you lose 2 points, I believe, right? Every time you do that.
Exactly.
So you have to balance out doing that, see if it's a good investment there.
So I want to just apologize real quickly. You hear Lola in the background there. It's bedtime here, so she's getting her bottle. She's super excited for that right now. Yeah. So anyway, if you hear that noise in the background, that's her.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I took the ogre mucus, which is the black one, and I got a pretty good combo on that. So finishing that up. But
nice,
yeah, like Devin was gonna say, That's kind of what Dads and Dice.
Yeah,
is
that
about.
is Dads and Dice, right? It's the babies in the background of our videos, or
Yes.
hearing them chatter, because it's impossible to keep them quiet for 30 minutes or an hour, or however long we record.
That's the charm of it, of course.
Yeah, but
For me, it's the cats. So
yeah, you know. And you
that was
say
the cats last time.
yeah, you say cats. I thought last time it was one cat. It's that we have multiple.
Yes, 2 cats, Harry and Stella.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Harry
which
named
one-
after Harry Potter.
Oh, which one did we see on screen? Was that Harry or Stella?
That was Harry last time.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think Stella needs to make an appearance today.
She might. Yeah, when I first started doing videos, they were really, really curious about it. Like, you know how cats are super nosy. And just like my setup, and they were just up on the table all the time. Like, wouldn't leave me alone. But I think they just kind of, I don't know, got bored of it. So they just go and do their own thing when I'm filming, which is nice. But
They realize this is a frequent occurrence now. It's not just a
Yes.
one-off.
Yep. That's right. Paul, I was going to say you could have used that professor's help there with that right potion there to take a black one, but
So I did think about that, but that's
Okay.
minus victory points, and I don't
interesting.
necessarily like taking negative points.
Oh man,
So-
I am fast and loose with the professor's help all the time.
Really? Well, we'll see. We'll have to see how that strategy pays off, because I
Yeah.
am not at all. I like to keep my my victory points that I take.
So I also find myself using it too, Dave. And we've
Okay.
talked about this on our channel. Any game that has any form of like corruption, right? I use
right.
corruption like because of the expansion to Lords of Waterdeep, right? If there's any kind of
Yeah.
corruption mechanic where it's like, oh, you can do this action, you get a little bit of resources, or you can do this action, you get a lot of resources and a few negative points. I'm like, yep, I'm all about that.
I'm all in. Yep. Give me all the corruption.
Yeah, that's Devin 100%. Or me, it's like, no, I just earned my 6 victory points. You're not
Right.
taking them away from me. Like, I'm just going to keep on building and building and building.
I want all the skullduggery.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
And the West Kingdoms games are all about that, right? Don't they all have that mechanism?
The virtue.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I think that's so much fun.
And that's half the time we play that game, Devin's sitting at like minus 12 virtue. And he can't build on the church.
Right, yes,
All he
yes.
can do is go to the black market, right? Because
Uh-huh.
he's just such a...
Corrupt.
life.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
I, on the other hand, I'm trying to be all the way at the top. Don't give me any debt. Don't give me any of that. I want to be as clean as possible.
Right. Yeah, it has parallels to your real lives, I'm sure.
So Dave, you had mentioned that you like to run. What kind of running does that involve for you?
Well, now I said that I run. I didn't say that I like to run.
Oh.
I do it kind of. I don't know why I do it, but no, my brother's a huge runner, and I have friends that do kinds of runs, and they want me to train with them or whatever. So yeah, I've gotten into running over the years, but yeah, my normal route is a 5K, 3.1 miles, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's usually what I do. I do 5 miles here and there, and then my brother, he was training for a marathon, so we did like 8 miles together or 12 miles together. That's not for me. It's just too much.
Yeah.
We were talking about me running here in PA and complaining about the heat, but you guys in Texas are out there running. Oh, I can't even imagine. That's horrible.
Yeah, I was going to mention before we started here, you know, what you had said, it's like 80 degrees, and I think the heat index today was 108, and man, you say you don't enjoy running, and to tell you the truth, like, I don't necessarily enjoy running either. Like, I like the after feeling of, look at what I just accomplished, right?
Sure.
And the fact that it was a hard thing that you did. Now, of course, every now and then you do get that runner's high, and you kind of zone out, but that's kind of the best thing about running is when you zone out, right? You don't want to think about every step. You don't want to think about how hot it is and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a weird kind of hobby that we're into.
Yeah, the best parts are when you're not like consciously aware of the hobby that you're doing or something. That's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever felt a runner's high. I know that's a thing, but I don't know how long. Is that like a marathon thing? Is that like a?
It honestly really just depends. I've had them on super short runs. I've had
Hmm.
them on very long runs.
Okay.
I can tell you, this past weekend I was supposed to do a 9 mile run, and I tapped out at 6 miles because
Oh, wow.
I thought about every single step that I was taking. I never got in the
Mm.
zone. Like, it was just
Yeah.
miserable. And
Oof.
so it's not every run. It's not, it doesn't happen all the time, but
Mm.
when it does, it's super nice.
I feel
Yeah.
like I've gotten like, I don't know, I guess jaded in that sense that I don't get that. Like I did in the beginning, but like now it's just I'm going out and running. I can't tell you the last time I've really felt like a runner's high.
Huh.
That's real unfortunate.
Yeah. But so Paul and I, we both, that's really how we got to know each other, was through triathlons, actually. And we're still both...
no way.
Yeah, we're still both very competitive in triathlons. But yeah, we were rooming together, and we actually, like, we kind of recently told this story, but we weren't exactly friends, right? We were random roommates, and...
We met on Craigslist.
Yeah, we met on Craigslist. That's like
What? That's awesome.
the sketchiest way you could possibly meet, right?
Yeah, seriously.
And that's how we met. And so we initially didn't really hang out, probably for the first year and a half, and then it was actually kind of running, and then we got into swimming, and that's really what made us grow and become friends.
Yeah, that was like Devin said. We just told this story on our tabletop tag video, but I was injured at the point when I was running. I used to be a personal trainer, and I would run. They convinced me to do a half marathon. I got injured. I started riding my bike. I started swimming, and I had heard Devin mention that he had swam in the past. I think he did duathlons, right? It was swimming and something else.
Yeah. So I had done some duathlons in college.
Yeah, and so I knew that he was into swimming, and so I said, hey, come with me, to the pool, and we got to start working out, all that kind of stuff. So he would come with me, and I remember the first time in that pool, all I could think about was like, how do these people do this? Like, how do you breathe? It's impossible to breathe, right?
Yes, I'm a terrible swimmer. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, these people can't do it, right? Whatever. So, then him and I started hanging out, and every now and then I'd kind of peek in his room, and I'd see his stack of board games there, and then that just kind of that's how I got into the hobby, was just like,
interesting.
Hey, let's try that game that I've never seen, that I've never heard of, that I have no idea what it is. And so that's kind of how that happened.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is we're filming this before the tag video comes out, so I haven't gotten a chance to obviously see it. But what game was the first game that you guys kind of discovered, or at least for you, Paul?
So I'll cut in here because you'll see it in our tag video. It's funny because I would say breakout game, right? The ones when we answer that question for both of us was Smallworld, and it was from two different time periods, right? Like mine was I was playing games back in 2007, 2009, whenever that game came out, and I played that game with some buddies, and that just really opened my eyes up to this real world of board games, right? And so I owned that game when I was living with Paul. I owned several games, right? And him and his wife Kirsten, one night after living together for probably 3 years, they asked me if they wanted to play one of my games, right? So that was the one that I decided to put on the table, and the rest is kind of history. So it actually ended up being the breakout game for both of us, just at two different times.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, and to this day, anytime that we see Smallworld, like Kirsten and I are just kind of like, oh, you remember us playing that? And we mention it again in that video, but we got to play that the night before our wedding. It was just something we were just kind of all hanging out, and we brought out that game, and kind of like your Stone Age, right? Like that changed your life. Smallworld to us is just kind of like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I hadn't realized that, Devin, you got Paul into the hobby. That's really cool too.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and the fact that both our wives like to play, it works really well for our group.
Yeah.
The whole story of how him and I met and like eventually became friends, and he was in my wedding and I was in his wedding, like it shouldn't work out the way that it did, but it did, right? Like it's just crazy that it happened that way. And yeah, we're both runners, triathletes, that's our hobby. We're both board gamers, that's our hobby. So like just kind of everything that we do is we can do together.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I've never done a triathlon yet. I did a half triathlon, or it's a sprint triathlon, so I'm sure I don't even know if it was half the official lengths. That was a blast. It was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I really enjoyed it. So
it's half of the Olympic. Well, you say that, but sprint triathlons don't necessarily have a set distance. It really kind of depends on the race directors and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But that was our first one, was a sprint tri that we did, and we've obviously gone all the way up to the Ironman distance and stuff like that. So, jeez. But I mean, you start where you start, and at this point in my life, there's no way I could do an Ironman. There's no way I would even want to do an Olympic tri. But I can go out and do a sprint tri, and it's just the time of life that you're in. You do what you can, and you just have fun, right? That's the whole point of hobbies in general, is to have fun. So do what you can when you can.
When did you do your first Ironman?
So we both did it together. It was 2016. We did Ironman Arizona. So that and before that, so we had started triathlon in 2014. Again, we were just kind of hanging out, and I had said something to Devin like, hey, let's do a triathlon, and he was like, yeah, for sure, let's do it, why not? So we spent I want to say 2014 kind of just getting into the hobby. 2015 we got pretty serious, and we were doing sprint tries every other weekend, sometimes back-to-back weekends.
Wow.
We were working with a coach at the time, still working with him to this day. He sends us all that stuff, all of our workouts. But that's when we got into like the half Ironman 70.3 distance, which is a mile, 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and then a 13.1 mile run.
Wow.
Real fast. Sorry. Dave, when you used your potion, the one that lets you use the different colored ones?
Yes.
How did you actually... I've clicked it, and it's in my main area, but how do I fill the spots?
Well, now, hold on a second. Let's cancel that potion real quick, because I want to help you out here. So, you want to fill your little... what do they call that thing? Your little... Oh, gosh. The pool. You want to put 3 marbles in there. Like in your reservoir to the right?
Oh, it comes from here, not from...
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yes, I follow it now. So...
And you can put them in multiple potions, so you always want to use, obviously, as up to 3.
Yep, okay.
You can't do both, but you can fill 3 of those spots.
Yeah, and so now I can use the potion.
You got it, yep.
And then...
And you click and you assign them.
Oh, okay. Yep, I see it now.
Although, wait a minute. Did you have a yellow one there? You have a yellow open spot, so you actually could fill those potions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see what you... I was initially attempting to fill both, but that's
yeah. Okay. You've got plenty of potions to use.
Yeah, let's...
I'm sure you could fill those both easy.
Take 2 ingredients and ingredients. Oh, anyway, sorry to interrupt there.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Gameplay is most important.
That's right.
Yeah, so anyway, long story short, we did a couple half Ironman triathlons that year, and then at the beginning of the next year, we had decided, all right, now's our year for a full Ironman, so we spent the full year pretty much training. We had done the Hotter Than Hell bike ride. It's a 100-mile bike ride in August here in Texas, so super hot. And
people don't die doing that?
Not that I know of. I have not heard anybody. There is aid stations and paramedics and all that stuff, right? It did take us 9.5 hours, I think, the very first time that we did it. Our whole team left us. They were just like, "You're taking too long. We're gonna
Oh
go
my
eat."
God.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I mean, that's honestly a whole nother story. They conned us into doing this harder than hell.
Yes.
Okay.
But so, you know, we had basically done all the distances, the swim, the bike, and the run separate. So now it was just kind of, let's put them all together.
Yeah.
So that was our first Ironman, and then we did Ironman Florida in 2018. So yeah, we're both 2-time Ironman finishers.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my good buddies that was getting me into this whole thing, Jordan, he is working toward his first Ironman. So he's done triathlons and such, and multiple triathlons, but that's his next step. So he's moving out to Arizona, actually, speaking of. So I don't know if he's got races out there planned as well, but he's moving out this summer. But yeah, he got me into the whole thing, and I was like, Jordan, I don't see myself ever doing any kind of sprint triathlon, anything like that. So, I mean, I run here and there, and the swimming, that was totally new to me. My mom is a swimmer. She actually does triathlons too, which her and my brother were all about that, and I just wasn't super interested. But she like coached me through the swimming thing, which was kind of nice. Got to like hang out with my mom and have her teach me how to swim. But that was all new to me, man. I mean, I can swim, but not fast or efficient or anything like that. But we did it out in the ocean, and I had all this training. In my mind, I knew exactly how I was going to do it, and the techniques and the process. And as soon as I got in the water and there's all these people around me, man, I just panicked. That was the worst part of the thing. Was just the whole swim was like just this panicked, like fighting the waves, fighting the tide. It was not elegant at all.
That definitely, those open water swims, that's the hardest part.
Yeah, and I didn't train for that. I was in a pool the whole time, so I didn't really get to train like what it's going to be like in the real world. So
right.
But
I mean, I do them all the time, right? And I'm still like open water swimming or open water races are still not my comfort at all.
Okay.
Like I usually it is more efficient to swim with the pack, right? Like to be in that group, right? It makes sense. You catch drafts and whatnot.
Sure.
I don't want to be kicked in the face. I don't want to be people hitting my legs. I don't want any of that. So I kind of find my little spot off to the side, and that's what I do. And it might be more work, but for me, it's definitely worth it than having to worry about fighting people the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother said that his first triathlon, I think it was in a lake, was where they did the swim, and I don't know what they were thinking because they didn't really do it by like pack or whatever. They didn't filter people through. It sounds like it was just like a free for all, and he was panicking so hard. He's like, people just on top of you. You can't get up. It's just left, right, front, back. Someone's on top of you all the time. So that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
So we kind of hint on that or talk about that a bit in one of our videos.
Yeah.
Where it's a pool swim. And whenever you register for the races, you're supposed to put in like your swim time, how fast you swim this distance and all that kind of stuff. So the fastest person should go first. And then, from there on it goes back. Nobody knows how fast they swim. Everybody either just lies completely about what time they can do it, or they just don't know, right?
Yeah.
So anytime that we register for a race, we know this, so maybe we're part of the problem, but we put a faster time than what we normally do. But still, when we get in that pool, we're passing so many people just constantly. And it's like, this should be a system that works if everybody did it properly, but it just doesn't work. So you're swimming over people, you are getting kicked, you're trying to pass, and it's a mess.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
So Dave, we know you're a teacher as well, and you're on summer break now.
Yes.
So what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I was up in the Adirondacks for 4 days. Beautiful up in the cabin off grid. Just taking a break from everything. That was great. I've got some house projects around here that I would like to do this summer, so that's in the works. Beyond that, playing board games and hanging out with people, and what else? Yeah, just enjoying life so far. So we ended super early. I'm sorry?
said, sounds like living the life. That's what
It
we all
is.
want to do.
It's great. It's great, but we need the break, man. It sounds so silly. I hate to dramatize or make it sound like it's whatever, but man, after a year of teaching, these last 2 years, it's nice to have a break. So,
Yeah.
for sure, I never took a summer vacation since high school. I was working, so and then even once I got my full-time teaching job for the first 7 years, I would teach all summer, instrumental lessons. So I never got a break.
Wow.
And then that 2020 COVID school year was the first year I said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take the summer off. I need a little break. So, and I'm glad I did. It was awesome. And I also sold and bought a house that summer, so I kind of had stuff going on in my life. It would have been kind of crazy to try to handle teaching too. So,
Yeah, the 2020 school year, I was considering transferring schools from one middle school to another.
Okay.
And obviously, I don't know how it was for you guys, but we went to virtual.
Yeah. Yep.
So I didn't have to go to the school and all that stuff. But my daughter was actually born that summer.
Oh, wow.
And for me, I was kind of to the point where I was like, you know what, I kind of do want to transfer schools, but I also don't want to, have to do that in the middle of having a brand new child and all this kind of stuff. That I was just like, it's not worth it. And I kind of stayed there. But just like you, those summer breaks are essential.
Yeah,
I'm not doing too good here.
Yeah, I have been like so distracted from the game. I'm looking at the score and we have one certificate remaining, so that we are actually very close to the end here. I guess I picked okay potions for that. But...
Dave, that's our MO. We distract you with conversation whenever we play.
That's right. Yeah, me with my last, well, maybe I shouldn't say the Great Western Trail results in case people want to watch it. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I was... Oh, it's the conversation. Yeah, that's the best part, so...
I don't even know what I did there, but that's all right.
Oh, wait a minute. What did you do? You must have...
I don't know. I thought I used one of my potions, but I didn't.
Oh, no. Yeah, you could have gotten a yellow and black.
Destroyed.
Oh,
that's what I was going for, was a yellow and black.
Oh, no.
Oops.
Oh, no. I wonder how that happened. Yeah, this game, I mean, BGA in general, but this game is really unforgiving if you make a mistake. Like, I've had many games where I hit take ingredient instead of get help, and that totally ruins the entire turn.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't even like cause an explosion and my turn ended. It's just, it's awful.
Yeah, and because if you do, or vice versa, right? If you accidentally take the help on the one you wanted to be the ingredient to cause the explosion, right?
Right.
That's
awful. Wreck your whole game. Yes.
Looks like I need to start taking help. Well, it's too late now, but apparently that's the strategy, because...
Wow. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can... What could I do here? I've got the potions. I've got all these repeat potion things. I'm sure I could... I'd imagine I can end this here, but I feel bad now because it came so fast. Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of that. But yeah, I took help 4 times, so I've been very casual about asking for help. Whoa! That was an explosion.
That was
yikes!
Quite the explosion.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that worked out okay. And I think I can do this. Well, I think I've got it. I'm gonna grab these.
Yep, I think that's good.
Is this gonna work? Do that, and fill that. I did a practice game earlier, so maybe that was an unfair advantage.
That was it. So I was actually rusty. I was like, I know it has to do with picking marbles, but I can't quite remember how to play. And so I pulled up a quick video, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember how to play the game.
I could have given you the full teach. Oh, no. Yeah, I could have certainly given you the full teach.
No. It's totally fine. The game is simple enough, right, that you take like half a turn and you remember how to play it. But
it's fairly straightforward, but goodness gracious, look at that spread.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
Don't look at that, please.
Yes. Yeah, I will say Great Western Trail, we were much closer in score than this game, but
yeah, that one built some suspense.
My score alone is almost the gap between you and Paul.
Yeah,
I was
could be a
gonna
team
say,
effort.
the potion that I generally go for is the potion of prismatic joy, the swirly
Yes,
unicorn one, right? I think that's the
that's
best
the
potion
one.
in the game. I
Oh,
don't think
it's
I
so
saw any
strong.
of them.
I
So
grabbed 3, so maybe I was hogging them. Those are really strong.
I'm real partial. It's the 3 I got right. It's the ones where you take the ingredients from the bottom. If you can take different ones, right, you get 4 ingredients on the move.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was
That can
mine.
be very helpful. For sure, for sure.
But that was nice, Dave. That finishing turn there, that was really good. You
Wow, that
really
just fell into
jumped
my
up there.
lap. Yeah, that was not intended. I love when things fall from before you can even see them in the dispenser. They just start raining down. You're like, wait a minute,
Exactly.
another explosion. But
Yeah,
that
was
was a lot of luck there. But yeah,
Well, Dave,
what do we
this
think
was
about potion explosion, man? What? Give me in 2 sentences or less. What's your overall general opinion of this game?
mine really quick is I think this is like one of those perfect starting the night games, right? You bust this out, everybody's talking, catching up and whatnot. You play a game, maybe 2 of it, and then kind of get to your capstone afterwards. But this one's always really fun, and plus having the marbles clack, it's a really good one.
I love that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the most fun part about this game is actually in person putting the marbles into that dispenser and watching them come out, and like what Devin said, hearing that click clack, right, and just click 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 clack. But also, this is a really great game for people that aren't necessarily in the board game hobby. You know, I had mentioned it before. This is Candy Crush, the board game, right?
Yeah.
Most people know what Candy Crush is, and so if you just kind of explain, hey, do you know what Candy Crush is? Yeah, okay, you can play this game. It's got a little, like you mentioned earlier, Harry Potter wizardry to it, so that just kind of draws more people in. You know, it's just a fun little quick game to get the night started and go from there.
Yeah. Hannah's sister is a Harry Potter huge fan, and that's kind of how I tease this game. I was like, well, it's kind of like Harry Potter, doing the potions, and that was my pitch. So. Yeah, although the potions can be a little, understanding them is one thing, but knowing how to really use them effectively, I think, somebody who's played the game a lot has a strong advantage there. But
I definitely agree with that because realizing you can manipulate the state of the marbles before you take yours for the turn is really key.
It's huge. Yeah, it's being able to see the sandwich and what's not going to cause the explosion. How can I get rid of that? And but it's great. It's good. Very, very good game. I like it a lot.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for having us. This was awesome. This was a great game to play. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about your Instagram 1,000 followers special, extravaganza giveaway.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, we just recently hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, so thank you to everybody that's following us. We do have a giveaway that's going on live right now. It will be ending on the 29th of June. That's a Wednesday. So you have from now until then. Just follow our page, comment on there, like, all the details are in the post. Just make sure you follow that. If you're not following our YouTube channel, please go do that. We post videos just like this all the time. We've got a couple of in-person plays coming up. That's new. Nice. So we've got that coming along. But yeah, just anything that you guys can do to help us grow, greatly appreciated.
Awesome. Yes, I'll have links to all that stuff down there, up here, all over the place. So you'll be able to find Dads and Dice very easily.
Finally, last thing, Dave, we want to thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. You've really been instrumental in our growth and just helping us with ideas. We bounce stuff back and forth, and just your support has been awesome. We're this small little channel, and just the fact that you're bringing us on here and you're helping us with this stuff, like we really do appreciate it. So thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you guys. Yeah, people don't know this, but after that Great Western Trail stream, we talked for I don't even know how many hours. Over 2 hours, I would say, right?
Yeah. It was a long time,
and it was great. I had a blast talking with you guys. That was just so much fun. So yeah, I always love the collaboration and bounce ideas off, like you said, and everything that you're doing on your channel. I love this whole format, and I'd love to borrow some of those elements. So yeah, I love it. I love it. And Devin, again, thank you for running all the stream and the
Of course.
OBS and stuff. That's great. I'm sure I'll have many questions for you at some point when I start getting that up and running. But
of course, you can always pick my brain on it. I don't mind one bit.
Yes. Good stuff. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Yes. All right,
I'll
Jake.
talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
All right. See ya. And that was Potion Explosion with Dads and Dice. Paul and Devin are fantastic people with an awesome channel. You should definitely go check it out. And don't forget about their giveaway over on Instagram. You can find their page using the links down below. So find that page, find out how to enter that giveaway. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. Take care and happy gaming. Bye. There you go. And that was Potion Explosion. And that was Potion Explosion. And that was Potion Explosion. And that was Potion Explosion.